Hey guys, how you doing? Andy Voelker here, the Saxophone Geek. I'm at Virtuosity in Boston, and I'm going to try not one, but two of the new Selmer Supreme tenors. They actually have two of them here. They had like a jam session last weekend. I was out of town where you could come and play, the horns and in a jam session setting. I'm sure that was a blast and a half, and if I was here, I would definitely have been here. At Virtuosity. Steven and the guys and the folks here, they always treat you right, and it's a good joint. So if you're interested in the Supreme Tenor, I'm sure they can get you one and send it out to you. And we're going to compare it to my tenor. And like I said, there's two of them here. Let's take a quick look. So here are the two Supreme tenors. This is the neck for this one. Just right out of the case. We haven't shined them up or polished them. There's got fingerprints on them. They're right out of the case, and I'm sure people have been playing these and trying them. There's engraving all the way up the body, which is pretty neat to see. They did go with the teardrop front F. I don't know. All this work to make a vintagey kind of horn for us guys. They did the round pearl for the F-sharp trill. Neat. Quite nice engraving, and I'm not sure I like the Supreme font they went with. And here's the back side of the other horn. Quite involved engraving. And Steven said they play a little different from each other, even though they're the same instrument, which will be interesting to see. So let's bring my tenor over and we'll take a look at them comparatively. Pretty sculpted leg brace thing here, and it has a sort of standard type ring shape, nothing overdone or crazy or weird, which I also sort of like. Right away, the palm keys are very high up, and I know a lot of people like that, but if you're used to a vintage instrument, that's not even close. That's really far. And they can be adjusted, but that's a lot of work. So why do they do that? I don't know. And as you see, we have a metal thumb rest and thumb hook, so all high-end stuff here. And we're here with my tenor, and boy, I'll tell you, this brand new dark lacquer Selmer sure makes mine look like a beat-up old horn, I'll tell you. And she is a pretty well-used beat-up old horn. One of the things I'd say is maybe the Mark VI is maybe a little longer in that up here at this side here. We have an F sharp because it's a modern horn, and this one doesn't, obviously. The pearls are kind of in a straight line up until the G, whereas here the C key is a little bit. And what else do we have? We have a pretty normal looking side with the low keys there. Nothing fancy, and a pretty similar setup as far as the angle and the placement of what I can tell anyway, on those there. Again, it's going to be, we can really see it here if you look, the height of those palm keys versus the height of those palm keys, quite a big difference. And it's something you would obviously get used to, it's not a deal breaker. And the other thing I noticed, if you look at the way the horns are sort of sitting on the table anyway, the bell to the reserve, or Supreme rather, seems to be tipped out to the side a little bit, whereas you can see the Mark VI tenor seems to be facing forward a little more as far as the bell position. A couple of other interesting design aspects on the horn. Pretty standard Selmer octave mechanism, I suppose. You could have to compare a little closer, but it seems nice and fluid, and a little bit of a noise on return, but I think with the neck that wouldn't be an issue with the neck attached. Got some engraving on the body of the horn here, as you can see, which is quite pretty. Necessary? I don't know, but cubes. I don't know why there's cubes. Cycle of fourths. I don't know. There was some reason for the cubes. But yeah, engraving up and down the horn, which is nice. Now, the other thing that I noticed I think that would be problematic. Okay, we got a couple of adjustments here. This is interesting. On the C trill and B flat keys on the side here. That's the adjustment material. See if I can show you better. I can't show you better. But anyway, we got a little adjustment there on these keys. That's new. That's a new design aspect. The thing I noticed is that they went with a kind of new design for your bumpers. They have these cutouts. Now, I don't know how much that's going to affect the sound, but I know what it's definitely going to do is it's going to make it really easy to bend these things. Hit that on a door, especially these down here. You know, the bell key ones, unless you're really beating your horn up, you're going to be fine. But these ones down here, they really get some contact, and this is not. I bet you could get that to flex just by touching it. Well, it's a reasonably stout piece of brass, but let's be honest, those are going to bend easily. And that's the shop techs, that's all they're going to be doing is fixing these bumpers, man, I'm telling you. I like the feeling of these guys here, but you know, it's a modern saxophone. It's pretty nice. I wish they had kept doing the what do you call it? The pattern around the rings that they used to do. But let's get to it. What we're going to do is we're going to play my horn first, and then each of these, and you can tell me that they sound the same, and they probably will. One other thing to show you here is that they have a new design for the neck tenon attachment tightening screw. It's actually a floating ring. This thing just kind of spins on here, and they have 1, 2, 3 slits in the top of the horn here, and that's how it tightens around the vocal. Now, this design was put in by Strasser. The SML horns, the Rev Ds and Cs, some of the high-end ones have this thing. So you can actually have it wherever you like, and it'll tighten around the horn. Interesting idea, because this is really one of the biggest problems on the old horns is the neck tenons. All right, so here's the Florida 7 with a Van Doren 4 and my tenor, the Mark 6. This tenor's serial number is 292, so about 1961, 5-digit, what last of the 5-digit horns. My alto is about the same. So here's a little control on my primary tenor. You can see my fat shoulder in the back. All right, here I am with the reference. It sure is purty. It's a damn fine saxophone. Needs a little regulation on the C sharp is not closing. And it doesn't have, okay. No, it does, yeah. It's got an adjustment. It just needs to be gone through. The other thing, this really weird, man. Like when you press the B flat, the edge of this sticks proud of the C sharp. And you're like, well, you wouldn't feel that. Yeah, you feel that. Because because I felt it. I didn't notice it until I felt it. So that, I don't know, certain hand movements, you're going to feel that little thing sticking up there. The old design was better, but they don't seem to get the point. You know what I'm hitting, man? It's the D. I mean, it's so close to your hand. Yeah, just to get around, too used to the other thing. Let's try the other horn. All right, so just to try to show you, one of the, again, pretty unique feature of this is you can turn this, moves around. It's floating. This is the vocal, I guess. I don't know. The tenon is this part, or this is the tenon, and this is called the sleeve. I don't know. Anyway, this moves, and you've got your 3 slots as opposed to just 1 slot in the front, and it gives you even pressure around, which is going to help with the longevity of the necks and the tenons. They get out of round from tightening just from the front over, however many decades. I think the irony is that I think if you met people at Selmer, they would complain that people only like the older horns, but here they are making a horn that's going to last longer. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? All right, so here's the other one. We'll see if it sounds, feels, plays any different. I do like the front F. I complain about these, but it's right there under your hand. Feels real nice. Yeah, the palm keys are nice. I don't know. I kind of like this one a little more than the other one. Just because it feels like it's got a little more buzz. Just a little bit. And this one, and on this one, the C sharp is closing, as it should. But this whole thing just feels crunchy. I don't know, it doesn't feel smooth in there. If you're on C sharp, that closes smoothly. But if you're here, there's just an odd, I don't know, you shouldn't feel those weird things in the mechanism, I don't think. Even though that's not a key movement you would make. That's odd. Anyway, quick back to the other one. So here's the first one we played again. See, I like now, coming back to this one, I like this one more. Back to mine. So I know that Selmer put energy into lightening up the horn, and I think that they did that, especially compared to a Series 3, but it's still heavier than this. I mean, this is light compared to that. That's with the neck and the metal mouthpiece on here. So that's a factor, right? I mean, that's a factor. Who knows? I don't know. They play nice. Here's my tenor. Okay, so they have a bigger sound than this. I mean, this is a great old horn, but I mean, I would say that they both are producing a warmer, fuller sound in some respects. This seems more, a little smaller and focused. So that's interesting to see. There's quite a big sound difference between the old horns and the new horns, which you'd expect, right? I didn't expect it to be quite that drastic. And it's so hard to go back and forth quickly, you know. But yeah, it's interesting. They're a little different from each other, and and quite different from this. Interesting. Let me know what you thought about the sound, the intonation, the high notes, the low notes. You know, I just kind of improvising here. I don't really go through too methodically. But that's all right. You know, whatever. We're just having fun here. I happen to be in town, so I thought I'd stop by and play these extremely expensive saxophones. And they're pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts. Have you played one yet? Would you pay 10 grand for a horn like that when you could get something like this for probably a little bit less, considering the shape this is in? I don't know. What would you do? How would you handle it? What do you think? Selmer Supreme. Hey, and if they like my playing, hey, go ahead and send me one for free. I would love a Selmer Supreme, and I'll tell everybody how great a horn it is. Selmer, just send me one. I'm Andy Voelker, the saxophone geek. You know me. I'm your guy. So anyway, Selmer, go ahead and send me a horn. I'll hang out with it. I'll tell everybody how great it is, because they play freaking great. And if I had 10 grand to spare, I'd probably buy an old car. But if I had another 10 grand to spare, I'd probably buy another old car, and then maybe a boat, and then another old car, and then one of these. So this has been Andy Voelker, the Saxophone Geek. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about the Selmer Supremes and all the stuff that goes along with it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the button so you get messages for when I don't put out a lot of videos. It's kind of a bummer. But anyway, I'm out there just trying to play, and that's what we're trying to do, right? So thanks for watching, and Saxophone Geek. We'll catch you on the next one.